nominate Rick Kite to be the chair of the ethics board. All in favor, say aye. I nominate Lynn to be our vice chair.
Second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I couldn't be over it.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm gonna move up. I'm almost deaf,
Okay?
so I'm a lip reader. I can't hear you until I can see your lips.
And I am too, so if you speak up, that's great.
Okay. Could you hear me when I was talking now?
I could, yes.
Okay. It's called a preacher's voice.
We are meeting today by the request of Steve O'Malley for an advisory opinion. And that's the only purpose of our meeting today. Just want to make that clear.
Point of order.
Yes.
My name's Craig Nestor. The last time I was here for an ethics committee, I walked in and two ethics board members were discussing specifics of the case, and I guess as a concerned citizen, I would like to ask all of the board members today if you've discussed this case with each other or anybody else, and the actual specifics, not the actual workings of this board and what they're doing, but have you discussed this with anyone else? Because actually, you should be clean, you shouldn't be speaking.
This is a meeting to talk about the advisory opinion. So we're not entertaining discussions.
Well, you have to have a point of order.
No, this
With
is
your
not,
legal
this is
counsel.
not, this is not a public meeting with the opportunity for public comment.
It isn't.
It is not. No.
What is it?
It is a request for an advisory opinion that is open to public observation, but this is not a public meeting with an
Well, the
opportunity
question
for
still
public comment.
stands.
So because this is a request for an advisory opinion, we cannot take questions. But we are here to gather information at the request of Steve O'Malley. So, any other observations by members of the board? I think then we can hear from Steve O'Malley.
Good afternoon, members of the Ethics Board. I appreciate the time you've taken today to hear me. I'll be brief. I'll share that with you right off the front, but I want to thank you for your service to the community and willingness to hear my request. And I'm going to keep my points to a written outline because I want to make sure that I touch on everything that I believe is relevant in this matter, and then I'll be open for questions and whatever next steps you think need to proceed regarding this or other related matters. But I wanted the opportunity to be able to make public comments in an open forum for you to consider in my request for an advisory opinion. You've already had a chance to review my letter, which basically outlines my concerns and really focuses on two questions. The two questions I believe, and the ones that I brought to your consideration, is did my active participation in supporting the city administrative referendum comply with the La Crosse County Code of Ethics and any applicable state law? And number two, do you have any ethical advice or direction for me on my participation in supporting the city administrative referendum, or if a similar situation should arise in the future? Just as each of you, I'm dedicated to my career and dedicated to my career in public service. Coming up this fall, I will have served 27 years in local government. And I'm very proud of the job I do and the profession that I serve and the community that I have served for almost 9 years here in La Crosse. I'm proud of the work I've done supporting the referendum, and I believe that it is an integral part of my job to support professional management in all forms of local government, in particular the city administrator proposal in the city of La Crosse. As my outline indicates, my position is that my active participation in supporting the city administrator referendum complies with both the county code of ethics, and I did not break any state law or county ordinance, because promoting professional local government management is part of my job and part of my profession. Number one, community groups and council members sought my expertise and support for public information because we have shown how professional management has saved the county money, and many believe that the same experience would happen for the city with the city administrator. Number two, I'm the most logical person to respond because as county administrator in our community, I'm serving in the position most similar to a city administrator. I'm the highest level appointed county official and the only local government professional with city management experience in La Crosse. Over 26 years in public administration and 7 serving as deputy city manager and chief financial officer for the city of Burnsville, Minnesota. Politics and policy is a regular part of my job, just as it is for other county department heads. There are numerous examples, but just as it was true for Doug Mormon as our county health director to promote smoking bans, to advocate for, to seek funding for public information, to advocate for legislative change, in the same manner as part of my job as a professional administrator, to advocate for professional management, prepare information to present to the public, describing the benefits that would occur for the city with the city administrator. The absence of professional management costs the city and county taxpayers money. The city of La Crosse's failure to meet the challenges of high taxes, neighborhood deterioration, costs the county money. The absence of a city administrator to provide a professional long-term approach to problem solving affects the county by increasing costs in multiple areas while limiting effective collaboration. The city's high property taxes restrain development while promoting sprawl outside the city, thereby increasing demands on the county highway system that is already severely underfunded. Neighborhood deterioration accelerates middle-class flight from the community while concentrating poverty and crime that increase costs for human services, courts, justice sanctions, and the county jail. The evidence shows that these challenges would be addressed more effectively with professional management. The city of La Crosse tax rate is among the highest in the state of Wisconsin, 35% higher than the 8 Wisconsin cities of similar size that all have professional management. A recent IBM study of 100 U.S. cities found that management is the single most relevant factor to achieve an average of a 10% lower cost. An administrator would bring greater efficiency to our city and the most difficult problems for the benefit of the county and the regional economy. All of my actions assisting the referendum committee were conducted in a professional manner for the purpose of explaining the benefits of the city administrator with no personal gain or benefit to myself. At no time did I indicate my support was an official endorsement by La Crosse County, nor did I use county resources, support staff, printing, with the exception of email communication. The request for emails is what prompted my request for this advisory opinion. Email is an essential part of all of my job. The 191 emails on this issue are a very small portion of the 4,860 emails sent or received over this period of time, with roughly 1/2 of those date stamped outside of work hours or while I was on vacation. Conclusion, community members sought out my expertise on the issue of city administrator, and it is my job to respond. The absence of professional management costs the city and county taxpayers money. Politics and policy is a regular part of my job, just as it is for other county department heads, even while I refrain from participation in individual elections of positions or people, partisan or nonpartisan offices. I don't sign nomination papers. I don't participate in individual election campaigns. I don't sign recall papers. I stay out of elections for individual offices. My active participation in supporting the city administrator referendum, in my opinion, did not violate the county code of ethics, state law, or county ordinance, because promoting professional local government management is my responsibility, and pursuing best practices is part of my job. Motivated by a drive for greater efficiency, collaboration, and cost savings. In conclusion, I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to present my information to you, and I'm open for questions or whatever next steps you choose to direct us through the county ethics board.
Thank you.
I do have a question. In the letter that you sent started the International City-County Management Association. Could you tell us a little bit about that organization?
Certainly. I can provide you with additional information or details, but ICMA is the professional association for local government managers, both city, county, town, local government, that is actually international. It's mainly based in the United States, but it provides everything from resources to a code of ethics to advice on giving us direction when issues like this come up, to textbooks and conferences and research and information on the professional local government management.
And do they provide funds for activities and supporting exactly that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Do they provide funding to help with professionalizing the running of local government?
Actually, they're a 501c3 organization, a nonprofit organization, funded mainly by membership dues, but they do have funding that is independent of that, that people can contribute to, that help to provide public information in referendum campaigns for or against the concepts of city administrator, county manager, city manager. Where referendums come up, they provide funding for information.
Did you speak with any representatives from ICMA regarding your participation in the city referendum? Did you talk to them about their ethics policy or get advice from them? What was that?
Very supportive. Again, I can provide you with a copy of the ICMA Code of Ethics if you'd like. I have copies of that if you're interested. The tenets, there are, I believe it's 12 tenets of our ethics practice. Number 7 talks about refraining from partisan political politics. We're not permitted to sign nomination papers, make donations, participate in any kind of elections. The only exception is to participate on a professional basis in supporting discussions about the profession in a referendum.
Seems to me, in a nutshell, what you're asking us to decide is, was your activity professional or political? Were you engaged in this activity as part of your professional attitude or your professional mandate to improve local government?
I guess I differ just slightly. I think the position is to make an evaluation of whether or not my perspective, saying that it's directly a part of my job, whether or not that conflicts with the county's code of ethics or advice from legal counsel. It's my position that it is my professional responsibility. That's my perspective.
I think you had the best question of all. What is the purpose of all of this?
This is not, an advisory opinion is a request by an individual for an opinion. That is the only person that is permitted to speak at the hearing, is the person requesting.
I'm asking for an explanation of what the purpose of the meeting is, please.
Well,
2 questions. We're going to take up 2 questions. Did his activity, was it in conformance with state and county code of ethics? And our ethical advice as far as going forward with this kind of activity? That was pretty clear, I think, from 11.
Ma'am, I'm really not browbeating you, honest to goodness, and I
No, my
understand
voice
that.
doesn't
I
carry.
understand I can't talk during this, and I won't, but I really am almost deaf, and I
I will
can't.
try to speak up.
Yes, ma'am, your voice is real hard for me to pick up.
Just a technical question. Under C, the emails, the 191 emails are a very small portion of the 4,800 that you had received or sent over the same period. What time frame are we looking at?
January 1st of this year to April 4th of 2012.
Are there any specific portions of the county code of ethics questions or concerns about.
Well, I wouldn't restrict you to any specific portion. I believe the Corporation Counsel's Office would have provided you with the entire.
We have it. I'm just wondering if you're asking us for the ethical advice, if there are any portions of the County Code of Ethics that you think are particularly relevant or problematic in their interpretation that you're seeking our advice on.
Well, again, not wanting to restrict your attention, my interest is most in confirming my position that I didn't demonstrate any conflict of interest. I didn't have anything personal to be gained by this. I was responding to community leaders that were asking for my input and support. I'm always interested in whatever kind of a response you can give me on whether or not you believe that there's something I may have missed in my review of either the Code of Ethics or the state statutes basically mirror 2.04 of the Code of Ethics. As I read them, I'm not an attorney. And as independent lay people who I believe aren't attorneys either, is there something that you would advise me, since we haven't had any contact on this, what, with the information that I've presented you or your understanding, that I should be taking up with my employer, the county board, or if there's something that I should pay closer attention to should this issue come up again?
Do we have any other questions from the board? Not at this time.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, if I can just say one more concluding item. If you read the portion of the Code of Ethics on advisory opinion, it very clearly states that I could have asked for this to be in closed session.
Right.
I very consciously did not do that. And asked that when the notice went out, that this not be in closed session. I don't believe that I've done anything improper. I think there may be people in the community that don't agree with the position that I've taken. I understand that, and that's why we provided all the information in the emails. That's why I provided a written statement as well as my information in public, in open session, and perhaps you would consider that. Whatever next steps you take in relation to this meeting, a subsequent meeting, I'll be available, make myself available, and answer any questions that I can. So thank you for your time and your service.
Thank you. Megan, could I ask you as Corporation Counsel, our next steps here, we're asked to give an advisory opinion. This is also something that we would like to discuss. We also received a complaint on this matter yesterday, and we aren't being asked at this point to deliberate on that. That date for that will be set in the future, I believe. And I would guess that any deliberation we have on this advisory opinion would be relevant to the complaint as well.
I think in this circumstance, one of the things that you as a committee need to probably look at deciding next is to the extent that the newly filed complaint overlaps some of the same questions, whether you want to move forward with deliberating with regards to the request for the advisory opinion today, or if you want to, hold that until such time as the actual more formal hearing on the complaint is concluded. I think you could choose to do that because they do overlap.
No, they don't.
Mr. Chairman, I feel that because they overlap, that at this point it may not be fully advisable for us to issue an advisory opinion until we've heard the substance of the complaint.
No, that makes sense to me too.
Yeah, and I think especially as we may be getting additional information, as we hear the complaint, it would probably be premature for us to issue an opinion that we might then have to revise in the light of further information. So, at this point, we have a motion. Then to,
Another thing we need to decide too is, I'm not sure if that follows our decision to reconvene, but do we want to deliberate after we've heard all the input in closed session and then make our decision public? Do we need to do that as a separate meeting, or can we hear all the testimony and then go into closed session?
I think we would need to look at the actual procedure with regards to the complaint. I think that would have a difference, and obviously it's a more formal proceeding. And so I guess those two things would probably also need to be taken into account together. I do know that if absent the complaint intervening, if you had chosen to wish to go into closed session to deliberate, that would need to be noticed for a different time and a different day.
But I'm thinking, since we're gonna have to publish a notice for our next meeting if we go ahead with this, do we also have to publish that part of it will be closed while we deliberate?
I think if you are wishing to have that ability, that the notice would need to include that.
That's what I was
possibility, yes.
Well, I move that we do meet again, and at that time, take into consideration the information that Steve O'Malley has provided us, as well as the information in the complaint, and then move into closed session to deliberate.
following the hearing of the complaint.